It's been boxers before you that went up 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
It ain't work out too well for them.
That's they
No, I'm just let me get to what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Kell Brook, he went up 2 weight classes for a Triple G. Didn't work out for him. Adrian Broner went up 2 weight classes and fought Marcus Madonna. It ain't work out for him. Now you got Jermell Charlo going up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. Why is it gonna work for you?
I'm just naturally a big motherfucker. Straight up. I'm not a little guy. You know, so Canelo got the world of boxing only see me when I weigh in, when I fight and shit. They don't know my real size. They don't know that, 6 feet, they don't know that I can fill out and be the natural bigger guy in that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying like a super welterweight, just because I'm super welterweight when I fight, I go down to make that weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your natural walk around weight is around.
I keep that under, disclose.
Oh, I thought he was about to say 200. I'm about to say 3.
Nah, I don't get that big, not at all. I stay in shape. I stay active.
Yeah.
But I can range from whatever, especially going in a fight like this. I can get big. Sometimes coach told me all the time, "Hey, you're looking a little thick. You're looking a little heavy. You're looking." Yeah, but it is what it is. I got this fight. I put on muscle mass. I put on speed. I'm doing things that work on my agility. I'm good.
And naturally, you're gonna be stronger too because you're not cutting no weight.
Right. And hydrated.
Yeah, you're not cutting as much weight.
Yeah.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Jermell Charlo ain't scared of any type of weight move up or weight difference. He said he's naturally a big mother. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. $1 million worth of game. Shout out to Gilly and Wallow. They had Jermell Charlo as a special guest, and on that, the topic of size differential, weight class differential, moving up 14 pounds versus Canelo payday, you want payday, I know that, came up. This is what Jermell Charlo had to say. Quote, "I'm just naturally a big mother ucker. Straight up, I'm not a little guy. The world of boxing only see me when I'm at the weigh-in, when I'm fighting in ish. They don't know my real size, 6 feet. They don't know I could fill out and beat a naturally bigger guy in that ring. Like I'm saying, just because I'm super welterweight when I fight, I go down to make that weight." And it looked like the hosts, they tried to like kind of pry and get Jermell Charlo's walking around weight, and he chose not to answer that. He just said heavy. He says, quote, "I keep that undisclosed. I don't get that big, like 200 pounds. Not at all. I stay in shape. I stay active, but I can range, especially going into a fight like this. I can get big. Sometimes my coach says, hey, you looking a little thick. You looking a little heavy, but it is what it is. In this fight, I put on muscle mass. I put on speed. I'm doing things that work on my agility. I'm good." I ain't gonna front. I love what I'm hearing from Jermell Charlo. Now, does that signify a victory? Absolutely not. However, I mean, what's the opposite? Jermell Charlo signing up and then not sounding confident? I would hate that. I would hate for him to sign up to move up 14 pounds and not be talking like this. You know what I mean? So I'd much rather a fighter who's quote unquote daring to be great and moving up and battling an elite guy like Canelo Alvarez sounding like how Jermell Charlo was sounding, ready. And he's saying, I'm naturally bigger than people think. Y'all just know me for my work at 154 pounds. And that's what I'm campaigning at. And that's what I weigh for the weigh-in. But you don't know me in my everyday life, which is true. And I've said this for years. Ego Weight Watchers, AKA EW, where I give you a look into the fighter lifestyle before, after, progress pit, especially when they have an upcoming fight, September 30th, it's going down. But I've told you guys on those Ego Weight Watchers videos that there was a handful of fighters, and most of them are retired or semi-retired because they're from another generation, like Floyd Mayweather, Bernard Hopkins, Manny Pacquiao. And I said in those videos that those were like the last of the Mohicans in terms of guys who really stood and stayed close to their campaign weight. They didn't like venture out too far, Kobe, and they didn't go and stray too much in weight. Like we've seen some of this younger generation from Broner all the way to the younger fighters, where like I see Broner and he looked bigger than Floyd on one of the all accesses, like maybe before the Maidana fight. You look at guys nowadays like Teofimo or Shakur Stevenson. When Terrence Crawford was cutting weight for the Errol Spence fight at welterweight, you have Shakur Stevenson who had one fight at lightweight, and he looked bigger than Terrence Crawford, who was at that point cutting weight to make weight for his upcoming fight. But they're separated by 2 weight classes, and Shakur Stevenson looked bigger than the welterweight. But if you look at boxing, like let's say in the 80s, that wasn't the case. If anything, you had guys like Roberto Duran, and he's like 5'7", and he's fighting at middleweight. You know, you had guys like Aaron Pryor, who was kind of stout and, you know, shorter as well, and he has to fight bigger guys, or even Mike Tyson. You got Mike Tyson, 5'10", 5'10 and a half, 5'11", and he's fighting 6'5", 6'4" heavyweights like Lennox Lewis. So times have certainly changed. The sports medicine and sports science has evolved to the point where you got just different training routines and regimens, to the point where in supplements and all kinds of stuff, to the point where people, they're able to do these monstrous cuts in the time allotted before their fight and lose 30, 40, 50 pounds or whatever to stay in a certain weight class, which is unheard of for the fighters of yesteryear. So Jermell Charlo, I mean, he's naturally taller than Canelo, and he does look bigger than Canelo, but I still have my reservations about moving up in weight, because at the end of the day, it's one thing to be at that weight, but it's a whole nother thing to fight at that weight when someone's trying to punch you. You know, Mike Tyson has the quote, "Everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth." And I'm anxious to see how this fight plays out, because Canelo has shown and he's proven that he's able to at least hang and not get knocked out 160, 168, 175. Like he fought big Dimitri Bivol and didn't get knocked out. So he's had plenty of time to, he didn't look good in that fight with Bivol. He absolutely lost that fight with Bivol. But at the end of the day, not getting knocked out when you're performing so poorly is a testament to your chin, especially when you're fighting a naturally bigger guy. You know, you're fighting someone who's bigger than you and he's having his way with you, pause, but you're not getting knocked out. So you got to put some respect on Canelo's chin. But at the end of the day, you know, we'll see what it is. Jermell Charlo, this will be instant, as far as I'm concerned, it'll be instant greatness if he's able to pull this off, because Canelo is still someone who's on the top 10 pound for pound list. He has a big base. He's the guy at the weight where he's undisputed and comfortable. Like I said, he has several fights at this weight. I mean, if you let somebody who has 0 fights at the division below you, let alone the division you're in, and you fought at 175, if you let that person come in and beat you, then that's going to be a bad look for Canelo Alvarez. That's why I almost don't like the fight for Canelo Alvarez, because it's good in terms of he's going to make a lot of money. It's good in terms of big names that are known in boxing, Jermell Charlo and Saul Canelo Alvarez. Those things are good. But the thing that I don't like is there's certain fights that one can get in, and it's a lose-lose situation. You put yourself in a bad predicament and a potentially lose-lose situation by fighting certain guys, because only they have something to gain by beating you. You have less and less to gain by beating them. And when it comes to that, that's like if, let's say, Wilder fought Artur Beterbiev, it'd be the same thing. I wouldn't like that. If Beterbiev, who knows? What if he can do damage at heavyweight and weigh 200 something pounds? But the only one that has room to get praise is the smaller guy, Artur Beterbiev. If Beterbiev just moved up, because any success he has is going to be amplified because he's the one that's risking it all. He's the one that's daring to be great. He's the one that's moving up in weight, right? Wilder or Usyk or whoever, you know, they're not going to get praise for being heavyweights with several fights in, former champion. So the only person who stands something to gain is Beterbiev in that equation. And that's the same thing. It's like outside of the money and the fanfare and the fight being, there's a lot of fights that are going to be successful based on the financial aspect. That doesn't make it the right fight. You know, I think there's fights that are definite good sales for Canelo Alvarez, like David Benavidez, but he would get more credit for beating Benavidez because that's an actual super middleweight. We've seen his work March 25th on my birthday against another super middleweight that they both have in common, Caleb Plant, who's an excellent fighter and has great reflexes. And we've seen David Benavidez' stature. He's clearly of the super middleweight class. So those are the fights that I particularly like a bit more because they just seem to make a bit more sense to me. Let me know how I did in this video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. YouTube will now show you a card on the screen and it'll show you some of my other videos. Make sure you check that out and get caught up on boxing. I'm the best in the business and it is not even close. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know how I did. Charlo says he big out here and he ain't worried about moving up. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with a $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a Super Thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super Thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super Thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.